But we have to
we need to get started with the truth first.
You have to communicate. As they say, 1,000 miles starts with one step. طب خلاص, let us start with that one step. Be truthful. Communicate with everybody. Everybody is important. If I am working in a factory and I have decided, if I am the boss of a big factory,
yes,
and I have decided to close one production line, instead of making yogurt, I'm going to make cheese. So the people who are working on the production line for the yogurt know that we're going to close the production line for the yogurt and it's going to change to cheese.
Yes.
Before it's even announced outside, you have to tell those people who are working on the yogurt line, don't worry, we have to, because we have a better chance of sending better cheese, so we are going to move you, we're going to do this. Don't wait until those workers hear it and tuck, tuck,
from
tuck
the outside,
from the outside, and then they go out in the cafes and in the shishas and over at night and saying, Shoftul Musiba. The Musiba is that we are all going to be fired because they're going to close the production line. This could have been easily avoided. Come people, we have to close this line. You 20 people who are working on this line are going to move to another line. You've done it.
Yes.
That doesn't happen. People wait until the news is out, good or wrong, right or wrong, it goes out. And once it goes out to the media, it's a catastrophe. The media will react immediately, negatively. If you go out to the media beforehand and tell them this is my situation, this is what I'm going to do, then they're going to listen. Take it while it's an issue before it turns into a crisis. It's an issue when it's still internal. It turns into a crisis when it turns outside to the media.
Yes, Mrs. Lola, you've said that the strategy or the technique that is being used nowadays through communication, that people would know about the news, about the things that are going to happen in the future through the media outlets and through rumors. And this is not right. But a lot of people say that this is being like a test by the bosses everywhere in every institution in Egypt are just trying to test the workers that this is going to happen, that it's going to be a problem. So they're trying to convey their messages through media outlets. And this is wrong.
Wrong. First, they have to convey it to the people inside, to get their concerns inside, address their concerns inside before you go out to the media and say what I am going to do. First, test the people inside and give them the truth, the facts. No matter, the truth cannot be always rosy. The truth may be bitter. But communicate with them and say, this is the difficulty we are facing now. I beg for your understanding. I ask for your appreciation of what I'm going through. And then you go out to the media before you tell it, and this is the announcement. I'm going to announce now, unfortunately, even no matter how bitter and harsh and ugly the situation is, communicate it truthfully. I have seen hundreds of CEOs who had to face the most difficult situations, and they came out with real courage to address. I don't know how much time do we have, because I have an interesting theory about a company. I will not name the company. This company has been accused of giving bribes to senior people in various countries, not in Egypt, but in other countries, of giving bribes to very high-level people in government, not just in governments, to monarchs and to heads of state in other countries, not in Egypt, alhamdulillah.
Yes.
But at that particular time, this particular company was negotiating with Egypt to sell to Egypt. The CEO came out, and we had a press conference for him, and he came out in all honesty. I never saw such admiration. The guy almost had tears in his eyes, and he said, I apologize to my staff, to my people first. I apologize because we have not lived up to your trust in us. Yes, we have done it. And I promise you, it will never, ever happen again. We have done it with this country and with this country, and the people who have done it in my company are now in jail. But I promise you, and I apologize to those countries for the illegal things that my people have done. This is what truth is. That was an ugly, horrible thing for a CEO to stand up.
And of course, enhancing the reputation as well.
And in protecting his reputation, because he said, I will never do this again. So the reputation was protected. The truth was out there. He did not deny the truth. I think it was one of the most, I will never forget that, because it happened way back about 30 years ago.
Yes.
But I still remember the face of that guy facing the media.
So right now in Egypt we're standing still, or maybe going backwards.
Going backwards.
If we're doing this.
We're going backwards because
so how much time do we need to be going forward?
Like yesterday. We need to move forward right this minute. As we speak, we need to analyze the situation. We need to analyze how our credit rating has gone, how doing business in Egypt has become. And then we have another very serious issue which is facing Egypt now, facing our reputation worldwide. This going back to nationalization. I'm not saying that there were not deals that were not so good in nationalization. Yes, there were. But the person who invested and bought a company, however way that company was valued, that person was dealing with a government. A government. Now this government, whether it did the right thing or the wrong thing, has to be respected. Now I know of companies, I know we're not allowed to name companies, but I tell you, I know of 5 or 6 or 8 companies that have taken over, companies that have really been valued by an international valuation, correct valuation. And the people have taken this broken factory that has no machinery, that was breaking down, and they have installed machines, they have installed everything, they have done, they have upgraded the whole thing, they have upgraded the workers, they have trained them, they have doubled, tripled the exports, and now these same companies are saying, Yalla, well, goodbye, we have to go back and give it to the Qata al-Am.
Because a new government is being appointed.
Because a new government is disappointed in the performance, not in the
Yes.
performance, in the valuation. Malish, but this was not a human being who was negotiating. Yes, there were human beings, but the negotiation was with the government. So, end of story. These people are going to go to international arbitration, some of them. If that happens, that is going to put distrust completely. Right or wrong, these people, if they go, if I've named maybe the 10, 15 companies, I don't know how many, I know at least of 3 of them that are going into national arbitration. And if they win, God forbid, this country is never going to, not never, has to do a hell of a lot to regain trust. Because I am an investor. I came in and I have put $100 million, $200 million, I don't know, and I've upgraded this
I've
company.
already agreed on
And
something.
I have, look at my export figures. I was exporting 100, I'm exporting 1,000. A worker was getting 200 pounds, he's getting at 3,000. Look at the training and the quality control that we have installed. And now you tell me you want to take back the company? I don't know how many companies are there that have been done with deals that were not so good, how many were done with deals good, good or bad. We cannot afford to have international arbitration at this stage.
This is Lola Zaklama, the former president of the International Public Relations Association. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this brings us to the end of this segment. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.